Another clap. Yo, welcome to the South London Ronin podcast. This is episode 001. 000 if you listened, was just what the podcast is about. And today I want to talk about why I moved to Japan. So this podcast is not all about Japan life, but I am here, so I just want to tell you. So when I was 27 years old, 27 years of age, that's when I decided to leave the UK. A lot of people that come to Japan come, some, not most, but a lot of people come when they're a bit older, just graduated from university or something for like 1 year, like a gap year kind of thing. But I knew that I actually wanted to come and live here, just wanted to be here. Like I loved the place. So yeah, so that happened when I was 27. But what led me to do that? So I wanted to go back to the beginning to see like what it got me interested in, like Japan and Japanese culture and stuff. And I can't exactly remember what the first thing was, the first impetus, the kikkake as they say in Japanese, the trigger. But I was always interested in like Asian culture. I say like more interested in Chinese culture and more interested in like kung fu and all that stuff, kung fu movies, Wu Tang Clan and all that stuff. But I don't know when. Maybe it was around Dragon Ball Z, or actually, I remember going to my friend's house and we used to watch some of those old mangas. We used to watch Urotsuki Dojo, which you shouldn't watch if you're young. Also watched Ninja Scroll, Ghost in the Shell, which is my number one, and we watched a few of those, and I like that. So that added to some reason why I started liking Japan. And you've got all that ninja and samurai culture, that warrior culture as well, which I really liked as well. I think I like in university I joined the anime club, so I was that kind of person, a little bit of a geek. Joined the anime club, watched some anime there. I used to love downloading anime, watching anime, buying an anime VHS, and all that stuff. So yeah, from those days, Studio Ghibli. I had all of the movies like on DVD, and I've got most of them still at home in London. Um, so I did like anime, but it didn't want me to make me want to move. Like I just liked watching the films. Like watched Spirited Away in uni. I remember us in the dorm room in Brunel watching Spirited Away for the first time, and I thought that was really cool. I just loved it. It was magical. But yeah, but that was about it. That's as far as it went. And then I think at one point I thought, because I used to study languages at school, so I did French and German, and I did Latin as well. So I really like languages. I really wanted to pursue languages, maybe for A levels and stuff. But I was, directed down the science route. I was also getting good grades in maths and stuff. I've gone on a big tangent, but bear with me. And yeah, good grades in those subjects as well. So I went in thinking, okay, maybe artificial intelligence, technology, maybe I'll do computer science, maybe I'd love that. And I did like technology, so that kind of worked in that way. But computer science and technological developments at that time wasn't really the same subject, right? So anyway, studied at Brunel University, got my degree. I'm just giving a spiel of my history, but when I did my work placement, I did my work placement at Walt Disney Company in Hammersmith, and I was working there, and I started studying Japanese as well, because this time you're like working, you had a little bit of free time, so I was studying a little bit of Japanese. Got myself a little book from the bookstore in Hammersmith, like Hammersmith Station. Don't remember the name, but I'm sure the bookstore was Waterstones though. And I got a little book, and it's probably still at home. And it's got so I started learning that, and that was interesting to me a little bit. And one of my so for my birthday, one of my colleagues, shout out to Joe, he got me a book which is back at home in England too. I should have brought it with me actually. Eiji Yoshikawa's book about Miyamoto Musashi, and I read that book. It's one of my favorite books. I love that book. Miyamoto Musashi is like, he's up high. Respect, man. A lot of people like Miyamoto Musashi, but yeah, I'm gonna reread that book. I bought it in Japanese, so I'm gonna try and read it again when I've got some time. You have to make the time to read. So anyway, read that book, and that got me more into it. And I loved reading, so I bought more like Japanese books anyway. I bought Shogun, if you haven't seen the series as well, that's on Disney. That's really cool. And there's the book is like this thick, but it's brilliant. And I read other books. Read a lot of one of my friends, Cheryl, put me on to Murakami Haruki. So I borrowed a book from her and read the book. I hope the wind is not interfering. And yeah, I read more Murakami Haruki, and that kind of gave me a nice picture of Japan. It made me really want to visit Japan. And it's not the stories that were told, but it's the way that he talks about the environment, like talks about the streets, talk about this. It just seemed kind of peaceful and calm, and the way society is as well. So, it sparked my interest a bit more, and so that was a big driving factor as well. Reading. So I read Out as well. Natsuko. I think it's Natsuko. I think it's Natsuko. Out. If it's not, I'm sorry. Um, Not like you're listening. But then yeah. After reading that, and I love to travel. So when I travelled, one of the places I really wanted to go to was obviously Japan. And when I came to Japan on holiday, obviously holidays are great. It was amazing. It was fantastic. Traveled all the way from east to west Japan, followed the cherry blossoms. It was, as beautiful as it could get. Didn't have such a great time in Kyoto where I live now, but still, that's neither here nor there. And then, yeah, I just really, when I hit there, I really loved it. Something resonated with me. I wasn't quite sure then what it was, but I think I'm aware of it now. Then, yeah, so this is just a long story, but fine. Then afterwards, I worked in IT, and I had what did I have? I had a stint away in France. I had to work in France for a few months, and you get things called per diems, like you get money per day. And I didn't spend a lot of that money. I just bought supermarket food, and I got all my per diems kept. So for 3 months, I got enough money, and I didn't even know I didn't actually know I could claim it, to be honest. But I claimed it all in one go, and I got so much money that I was able to afford to go to Japan again. Yeah, so I went the second time in the same year, which was amazing. And I came for fall season when you can see the red leaves, which is good. If I say it's good, that's an understatement. Come if you come in autumn or spring. Anyway, after that, after that, yeah, I was like, I think I was convinced, man, because it's just a new thing. You come here, it's kind of people do leave you alone. You can be not, bothered, not people trying to start a fight with you, not being called the N word, not being told to go back to your own country every other day, that kind of thing. And obviously it's holiday, and I know holidays are just, when you get to working here and living here, it's different. But still, I thought, I need to try it again. And I came back on a sabbatical, so I'm already in love, but I'm testing it. Went on a 3 month sabbatical. Took 3 months from my job. Came out here. I was broke as hell. I was bumming around, man. Literally, I rented an apartment. I rented a shared house for like 20,000 yen for a month. I was scraping around. I was bumming around. That was terrible. Like, I wish I had saved more cash. I thought I was a bad man. I did a homestay for a month, and I went to a school for a month as well during that time, and that cost a lot of money. I should have not done the homestay because I didn't stay at the home, so I just rented my place and saved money there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've said that twice now, but I guess I'll be saying that a lot. Then what else happened? Yeah, so I did that sabbatical, and then I was like, okay, I really want to live here, but I did the sabbatical because it's like that will maybe get Japan out of my system, and I could just enjoy the time. And I was in a relationship too at the time as well, so it's like you don't want to just leave your relationship and go. But so I came back to England and working, and so this is just a lead up to the story, so you can kind of understand. And I was doing working. Work wasn't going so well. I wasn't enjoying the work. Things were going down with the company. Then I ended up taking a voluntary redundancy, thinking I'm going to become a photographer and don't do something else or find another job, or I don't know exactly what my plans were, but I just wanted to leave, get the money and leave and try something, find something else. Because I was working anywhere they sent me around the country and doing, and had to. It was a weird situation. It's a consultancy, but you had to go begging for jobs within your own company, and without gaining. And I was in that position from the start. So, and they're supposed to give you placements to gain experience, but I had to beg for placements, although I was already employed. Anyway, it was for me, it wasn't the best place, but that's done. It's neither here nor there. I'm not going to say that. That's done. Then after that, excuse me, because I'm at my window, people walk past as well. But yeah, after that, we, I say we, I was like, anyway, I was just looking for jobs. I started teaching dance. I was doing some photography work, a little bit event photography, little bit of videography as well for dance events, kizomba and kizomba, yeah, kizomba, and then I think so. At one point, I was basically in life. Sometimes you put other people before you, their priorities in front of you, which you should. I don't think you should do. Obviously, you should prioritize other people. But generally, you should go number one, I think. Now I think that anyway. But I was thinking, oh, what, my mum would want, or my dad would want, or my brothers would want, but not me. And I was always putting myself last. And I think it was taking its toll on me. And at one point, I think someone that you did put your prioritize, they, did something that makes you not think that you've been wasting your time. And I might go into detail on that one day, but it's kind of personal. So I'll keep that to myself for now. I think I'll keep that to myself. And then, yeah, I was like, you know what? I've been putting other people in front of me. I need to put myself first. I'm going to go for this teaching job in Japan. Because like one of the only ways to get over here at that time, it was very rare to be taken over as like a professional at that time. I kind of tried to explore that route, but that wasn't working for me then. Especially since I left the company that had roots over here, right? I didn't speak the language too well either. But yeah, there's so much stuff I'm glossing over. There's all slug and lettuce Japanese meetups as well. I used to go to and meet Japanese friends. Some are still friends to today. Some of them moved to Japan as well. It's cool people. Um, so what was I saying? I got to wrap this. I got 9 minutes left. So yeah, so that happened, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna try and be an ALT. And I didn't think I could be a teacher because I was shy to speak in front of people, in front of groups. But I think during work, I did do a lot of training. So I did train other people on our software that we were using, and I did a volunteer program once when I went to a school in Tower Hamlets, not too far from me, and I was teaching like one on one with a kid, a student, and we were doing like media skills, kind of doing stop motion, which was really fun. And I really, really enjoyed it. Like I got a bit excited. I really enjoyed that, and after doing that, I thought, okay, maybe teaching I can do that. I'll try. I'll give it a try. So I did the for Interact, it was Interact, company called Interact. I did like their presentation lessons, and I really put a lot of work and was really genki and really energetic because we had to send a video of ourselves teaching, and I was just having fun. And I got told that I was offered a job in Japan, so I'd be placed in Ibaraki Prefecture, which is where I moved to first of all, and that's basically how, and I think generally the why I came to Japan. I mean, I was studying English, and I'm not studying English. Studying English though. I was studying Japanese, and I thought being in Japan would also help me speak more Japanese, which obviously it's improved a lot, but it's not its best. I could still work, just checking the levels. I could still work on it more. I studied for a while. I took an exam in 2014, 2025 now, and I haven't taken an exam since. So I need to maybe start studying again. I'm looking for a teacher actually. And yeah, so why? I think there's other things. So I don't know, I ducked out. There's other things I wanted to mention. So yeah, that's when I decided. Um, yep. So the first few months were a struggle. I mean, I don't. For some reason, I was used to being away from home because I lived in Leeds for a while as well, and I was used to. And university was, I stayed in halls, so I was used to being alone, away from home a bit. But living on my own in like my apartment, not in like a dorm room or something like that, was the first time in my life. So it was extremely like lonely at the beginning, and a big learning curve culturally, just learning new things every day. But it was good. There was a lot of support from the company, so I do rate Interact. They had support initially, someone who set you up and help you buy stuff for your house, and then other ALTs that were stationed not too far away you could meet up with every now and then. And people in my school, some of them were really, really friendly. A lot of them were really friendly, and we're still cool now. Actually miss my school up in Hitachi in Juo Junior High School. Obviously, big them up. So that was what was a bit difficult. Also, financially, it was pretty hard because there's a lot of hidden extras when you get in there. So I would have loved to have had more cash when I went going out there to set me up a bit better. But can't go back. Can't go back. What else? Yeah, yo. So, so as I think, have I changed much since I came to Japan? I think definitely I've changed because I've grown. I mean, I came here before I was 30, and I'm nearly 40. I'm 40 this year, so I've definitely matured in that sense. I've had to learn things about being independent. I've learned a lot about myself, because I'm meeting new people like for the first time. So they're meeting me as a 27-year-old, not like from school or anything. And yeah, I'm learning about myself by the way people perceive me or things that they notice in me, which have made me had some realizations. Um, you just learn because like I didn't have many American friends, but now I know it's quite a few Americans, and you have the perception of Americans, but then you meet them, and then it's like they're different, from what the media says. Um, like Americans are all pew 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 pew. I said that on the podcast, yeah. And I did gun fingers, bad thing. What else? Yeah, I think I learned to appreciate smaller things, local things, your community more, or just like things like staycation. Japan loves staycations, like traveling in different areas, and each prefecture's proud of what they produce, and you know, sense of community. Obviously, we have a sense of community in the UK, but like a sense of, it's not even community. Like everyone gets together and we all hold hands, but it's just like a set respect for each other as well. That's something that I've learned. It's like the whole group, the group mentality and individualistic mentality as well. I've learnt that and trying to balance that because obviously I'm from the UK, and sometimes I want to think about, but I want this, but it's like what everybody wants. Sometimes you have to step back again and not prioritize yourself. Yeah, sounds familiar. So I might have to escape from here too. Um, yeah, I've thought about leaving Japan. I've thought about it sometimes, and now that I've got kids now, two kids, and wow, that's a loud banging. But to think about leaving, I'm thinking about this. The one thing I'd like to leave is so they can have more multicultural environment, but then more multicultural environment or a safe environment, and we have a safe environment here. Like I said, my kids I take my daughter to school, but my son goes to school by himself, and he's been going to school by himself since he was 6 years old. Come home, go to the park, and I'm not, obviously I'm worried always. Every parent's always worried, but not like, you know, yeah, you know what I mean. So safety and stuff like that is cool here. So as I said before, I've said many times I'd love to go and come, but that hasn't been the case, especially since Corona put a stop to all of that. So I haven't been back to the UK for a long time, and I wish I'd set myself up in a way that I could have gone and come back, especially even with the family. So that's one thing as well. So what's next for me in Japan is working on like I love making content. I've got this podcast now. If you've seen this, then I've got this podcast. I've got Ario Sensei's where I teach English to Japanese people on Instagram, and then some a little bit on YouTube. Got Femi Smiles YouTube channel as well, which is a completely different thing. So I love making content. So I want to be able to make it successful there and be able to expand and just help a lot of people and talk to a lot of people, and I can't talk to a lot of people probably only on via this medium. So maybe growing confidence. So that's what I'd like to do: growing confidence, improve my Japanese. You don't know, but I do Japanese archery kudo. For those of you who are looking, this is an arrow just grabbed, and so we do this, and it's kind of like meditative, and I love doing this. So I want to keep doing this and progress in that. So I'll tell you about that as well. Yeah. So I just want to keep working, doing things that I enjoy, and spending time with my kids and my wife, and then getting back to London and then communicating with you guys and just doing stuff, making. I think I like to make, and I don't know. And as I said before, I don't think I am a guru or anything like that. I'm just want to give a view or a perspective that you may not have seen or heard. And do I have stories? Yes, I have stories. No tea, but just like interesting things, I think. So, well, if you're here, you stuck around. Thank you very much. This is episode 001, and I'll do another one another time. For now, see you later. Peace. My daughter does this, and I've been doing this for ages. Peace.